This era is right there with any era that we've ever seen. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, from a skill standpoint, there are players at 7 feet and up who are doing things that we haven't never seen before. Think about Giannis. Think about Embiid. Think about Wembanyama coming into the league and what he's doing. Think about what the skill set of what these players bring to the table right now and what they can do. People complain about the defense. It's not that the defense is bad. It's that the offense is so superior that defensively you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance to guard. Like, great offense beats great defense, especially in the regular season. And by the way, we can't have it both ways, complaining about too many points, because you are looking for something as a fan to keep you engaged for the marathon that is the NBA season that goes from October to June, and before the playoffs, October to April. What is going to keep you engaged? 120 to 135 to 120 or 81 to 75? Because I remember a time, and it wasn't that long ago as you think it was. We're talking in the mid 2000s, where some of these games were rock fights. Some of these games in playoff games, you had literally 81, 75 games in the playoffs. You have 78, 75 games in the playoffs. I watched Boston play Cleveland when LeBron was, and I'm talking about LeBron's first in Cleveland. Go back and watch some of those playoff games in 2007, 2006-ish. Those games were hard to watch. And forget about the early 2000s with 03, 04 with the Pistons, and that some of those games were played in the 60s. Go back and watch that Pistons. Go back and watch that Pistons, not the entire series, but snippets. Go back and look at some of the scores in that Pistons Pacers playoff series in 2004 and 2005. Some of those games were played in the 60s. I'm not joking. I'm dead ass. The 60s. It would be a half for the. You see higher scores in a half in some of these games versus that way back when. And the NBA had, of course, loosen up the rules with freedom of movement, and that game was not good to watch. Now, I still lean towards the best era of basketball being the 80s, early 90s, when you had Magic, Bird going into Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. That 80 to 93 era. From 80 to 93, 80 to say 95, 95-ish. Had a perfect storm of athleticism and skill. Remember, especially in the 80s, this is before guys were coming out after 1 year or 2 years or even come out of high school frequently. Guys would stay in college. They came in ready to play with a high level of basketball intelligence, just knowing how to play basketball.